Do not take this cat home. Okay. You're having a great day as usual. Okay. Oh, great. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out, but in the middle of your walk it started to rain. But maybe it's just a sign that you should stay home today. Yeah, you can always try again tomorrow, right? You turned to head home when... Meow. What was that? There are only a few people around on the street. Makes sense due to the increase of missing persons around the area recently. Well, that and the weather. But none of them reacted to that sound at all. Curiosity... Oh, balls. What did I do? What did I do? Curiosity guiding your step, you follow the sound to the entrance of a dark, dingy alleyway. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward. The ground dampened by the rain makes your steps louder and more confident than you actually feel. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the cold, dim light of the alley. At the end of the alley, it's a big cardboard box. It's a cat. Huh, guess I should have been obvious. It's an interesting looking cat. Pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. It puts its front paws up to the edge of the box and looks up at you. So cute. And it definitely knows it. You never had much of an opinion on one way or another about cats before, but if they're all like this one, it's a shock they haven't already found a way to rule the world. You don't think you mind blowing down to a feline overload. You look around the alley with a small frown. Who leaves a cat in a cardboard box these days anyways? Wouldn't they jump? Wouldn't they just jump out and leave the box eventually? The cat doesn't answer you, obviously. It also doesn't do as you suggest and leave the box. It's just looking at you, as if it's waiting for you to make your next move. Well, the game is don't take... Why am I so white? There we go. It's a little better. Um, the game is called Do Not Take This Cat Home. So we're going to take it home. I'm assuming there's going to be different endings. You know what? You're coming with me. You reach into the box and pick up the cat, holding it out in front of you. Why not? No, you're all alone, and well, I'm kind of in the same boat myself, so you bring the cat close. You didn't realize it was shivering until then, but it slowly breathes easier as it presses into your chest. Why not stick together, right? At least for a little while. You think a little while, probably more like a day. You'll be responsible and take it to a shelter tomorrow. For now, let's get you out of the rain. You stop by a small local pet store for some cat food, then head back home. You live in a modest apartment. One bedroom, one bathroom. One you living alone in it. So it feels weird to have another living being inside it after so long, even if it is just a cat. After locking the front door and placing the cat on the floor, you watch for a moment as its curiosity explores the new environment. Leaving the feline to its own devices, you set about making the both of you some dinner. You take out the can of cat food and open it with the tab on top. You put the cat food on a saucer and click your tongue to call the cat over to you. Come here, why am I still so white? It perks up at your beckoning and rushes over. It looks at the plate of food and completely ignores it. My god. Not hungry, I guess. You try not to let it annoy you. The cat doesn't understand the concept of money to appreciate that you spent your hard-earned cash on it. It is just a cat after all. I'll just leave it here if you get hungry later, okay? The cat rubs his body against your leg with a purr. You smile, that's enough of a thanks for you. It follows you into the kitchen as you start your own dinner. You decide that you had enough ingredients for a sandwich. Bread toasted, mayo and mustard spread, turkey and cheese and lettuce perfectly placed. Weird sandwich, but you do you. Tomato sliced. Ow! You wince as you cut your finger on the knife while slicing a tomato. Stupid. You feel a little embarrassed with your blunder inside, tossing the knife onto the cutting board. You're about to head to the bathroom for a bandage when the cat hops up on the counter. It sniffs at the knife and meows almost pointedly at you. Hey, don't worry, it's alright, it was just a... You watch as the cat starts to lick, lightly but enthusiastically at the blood on the knife. At your blood. You're so shocked at the time you come to your senses the knife has been completely licked clean. The cat sits back, staring at you. You feel a little uneasy. Sure, cats are meat-eating predators, but that was a little weird, right? Sure, you're no cat expert, but that was definitely not something that an ordinary cat would do, right? Well, regardless, you're not about to abandon a cat indeed while it's still raining outside. Not after all your efforts. You were going to take it to the shelter tomorrow anyways. What is one night of awkwardness? Weird or not, it's just a cat. The rest of the evening, unfortunately, goes downhill from there. Even after covering up your finger cut with the bandage, the cat keeps trying to lick at the wound. While you're eating your sandwich, while you're cleaning up the kitchen, while trying to watch TV, you gently push it away every time, but starting to get worried at the strange behavior. Well, if it got a taste for blood and thinks you're food now, you're not sure what you'll do if it starts to get more aggressive. You keep thinking about the cat food sitting in the corner, untouched. Come on, enough already. You shove it away a little more forcefully this time out of annoyance. You feel bad immediately, but before you can do anything, the cat meows sharply at you and dashes off around the corner into the hall. You sigh deeply. At this point, you're just worried that it's going to take a bite out of you in your sleep. Maybe a vet will have an idea on how to calm it down. You can only hope. You don't have many other options left other than tossing the cat out in the rain. After finding the number of a local vet, you pick up your landline and the lights just went out. Great, just great. Ray must have knocked out the power. You check your cell phone to find that it's out of battery. You must have forgotten to charge it before leaving out earlier. The outing has been spur of the moment that has no doubt messed with your usual routine. You grab a flashlight and turn it on. It's quiet. It's too quiet. Did the rain stop? But then, why did the power go out? You look outside. The sky is pitch black. What time is it? You turn and check the clock. The cat sits on top of your digital clock, staring at you. Thinking now you realize the clock shouldn't be working at all, which with the power outage, but the numbers are lit up and completely haywire. The cat stares at you, completely still. You think it was a statue if you didn't know any better. It's not giving off an indication that it's alive. It's not blinking, it's not breathing, but its eyes. This isn't normal. You're afraid. You want to run, but you're afraid of letting the cat out of your sight. You consider tossing the cat out after all. But as soon as the thought enters your head, you feel a sharp urge to vomit. Those eyes, it holds you still, even with your flashlight trained on it. Its pupils are large, round, icky pits. The flashing light flickers. Uh-oh. Then the cat is gone. Fear immediately grips your mind. Though silent, punctuated with the rapid pumping of your blood in your heart, is overridden as your ears slowly start to pick up the sound of static all around you. How is the clock working with no power? You don't know why such a question matters at that moment, but you feel as if having the answer will make sense out of everything that's happening. That order will be restored. But no answer comes to mind. You back away from the clock and feel as if the air itself coils tightly and abruptly in response, like a predator prepared to pounce, but waiting for your next move, but you're afraid to move. You're afraid to even take a breath. But you can't stay still forever, right? Whatever is watching you, you can already feel it impatient. It's too eager. You don't know how you know this, but you can sense it as clearly as it has whispered. Let's play. Okay. Right in your ear, right into your soul. It won't let you wait it out. Not that you could even if it did. You can't stay here. You have to run. Without a thought, a sudden primal instinct awakens within you, making you tear yourself into a hasty burst of movement, of action. But you're still weak from the fear grips on your mind. Your legs tangle together under you in a haste and you fall to the ground. A sharp pain explodes in the center of your foot. At first you think you've broken your ankle, but something warm and wet trickles down the length of your foot, pooling underneath it. You hear the sound of metal scraping on tile after skidding across the floor, as if it had been kicked. Winding from your fall, look at the daisy, the object glinting in a strange light coming from outside. The light pouring from your now open front door. The thoughts of how, when, who, what in regard of your inexplicably open door screeches to a halt as your brain finally identifies the metallic object you've been staring at. It's your kitchen knife, and you're tinted red from your earlier blunder, but that's not right. Wasn't it completely licked clean by the... You go dryly at the pain in your foot. You realize time to wonder how the knife ended up on your living room floor to be stepped on, instead of resting on your cutting board in the kitchen where you left it. When you spy something in the darkness beyond the knife, it spies right back at you. A pair of glowing golden eyes come forward as the cat emerges from the shadows into the light from your doorway. It pads lightly over to the knife as if skipping in delight, and it bends down to lap at the blood dripping from the blade. Your senses begin to overwhelm you. The chill of the air starts to suffocate you under its weight. The sound of your sharply shaky breath, disoriented against the static now piercing your skull. The dryness of your tongue spreads to your throat. The incomprehensibility sight of the stray you've taken in. licking away at your kitchen knife once again, completely clean. The scent of blood from the fresh wound on your foot. Blood? Golden eyes slide up to you as if in response to your sudden realization. Blood. You're hurt. Your foot is bleeding. You're bleeding. You're bleeding. The cat barely moves, shoulder twitching as just considers the action of pouncing forward. But you're already on your feet and out the door. You run, or rather limp down the empty street. The sky is black and bleeding red, but there's a strange light emitting from nowhere that casts everything in white. The houses, the trees, are not even you, everything except your blood. You can barely glimpse the bloody imprint of your injured foot leaves in your wake with every impact it makes to the ground. It hurts, but you can't stop, you don't stop. Not when the shadow grows around you, not when you feel the gaze of eyes all over you. Not when the road of you is darkened, a long shadow swing behind you. Even then you don't stop running, but if that cat is right there ahead of you, then what in the world is behind you? Look behind me! Huh? Interesting. How very, very interesting. It began. Okay, well I guess we have a few other endings that we gotta get through. So let's do that. This game doesn't give me much time to commentate. Oh wait, it says continue. There's the weather's good. There's a good wait. Can I just go back and restart? Because I didn't realize. And you're actually glad that you did. The weather is absolutely perfect today. That's a good sign, right? Maybe your luck is finally starting to turn around. You tentatively allow yourself to feel excited for the possibility of where you could go or what you could do. Maybe who you even could meet. You're so deep in thought that you almost miss it. What was that? Curiously guiding your step, you follow the sound to the entrance of a lonely alleyway. The sunlight just only manages to reach down in between the tall building of either side. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward. The loose gravel and scattered debris on the ground soften your step. Finally, the sound source comes into view into the warmth, almost the door of the light alley. At the end of the alley is a big cardboard box. Wait. Okay, so it is the same thing. It's just done a little different. Okay. Well, this time let's not take the cat. So I'll be back once I've skipped all of this. Do not take the cat home. Sadly, as cute as the cat is, you never take this thing home with you. You can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. You are, with rent and bills to pay for, not to mention you need to buy food to survive too. There's no way you can take care for a cat long term, right? You can barely afford this little outing on your day off. What to do? Leave him. You don't think it's a good idea to get the cat's hopes up of having someone to look after. You're not willing to commit. What if he gets attached and somehow tracks you down back to your home? See you around, I guess. You stand on the cat watching your every move. You make it halfway out the alley when the cat meows almost painfully at you. Ignore. Nope, you need to take this nip in the bud and get on with your day. It's what's best for the both of you. You leave the alley and continue on your way. Well, what was I doing? In the excitement of dealing with your furry dilemma, you forgot that you still haven't decided on what you were going to do for your day off. Go watch a movie. It's been a while since the film came on that looked interesting enough for you to drag yourself to a movie theater, but there's a showing of what's the show at the old theater. The movie was a little too niche to be picked up by the new cinema that opened right across the street, but that's okay, you're not exactly a fan of the crowd, and nothing ruins the experience of watching a new movie for you more than a noisy audience. Go to the old theater. You eagerly buy your ticket from the kind old man in the booth and head inside. In the barren of a trace of other people, and the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s, maybe even the 70s. But it's what you were counting on. You consider buying some popcorn, but can't help but be concerned that everything at the concession stand might be expired. You move on and walk through the hall, finally locating the theater designated on your ticket stub. As expected, the theater your movie will be playing is completely empty. Perfect. You pick a spot right in the middle, even counting the seats and taking into consideration the gap of the staircase. As you settle in, the dim light fades away, leaving the room pitch black for a few seconds. Before the screen flickers on, no commercials or trailers pop up, the movie just begins. Please, you shrug and let yourself get immersed in the opening scene, but just as you're getting into the premise, the door opens behind you, momentarily casting light into the room, ruining the atmosphere. You hold in a frustrated sigh. It's a public establishment after all. The place can't exactly afford to stay open if you're the only customer. You try to refocus on the movie, but you sense the new presence slowly shifting around the theater. before heading in your general direction. What? The gape. You gape in utter disbelief as a stranger shuffles down the aisle onto sit right in front of you. There's no one else here and plenty of space to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall. Even with the stadium-like arrangement of the seats behind being on a somewhat steep incline, you're completely blocking your view. Move to another spot. You don't want to risk escalating the situation further. This whole thing is already making you uneasy. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they would know you wouldn't be able to see past them. Shaking your head with a passive-aggressive scoff in the stranger's direction, you reluctantly pick another less perfect seat in the theater. But as you settle down, you see the strange person get up, only to sit down in the seat directly in front of you. You look around as somewhat helpless that they were. Jesus Christ, I'm struggling. You look around somewhat helplessly as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you, but how odd all of this is. Or to at least inform you that it's an elaborate prank. But there's no one here with you. That's how you've always liked it, but you can't help but think that maybe it would be nice to have someone else here if that meant not being alone with this weird jerk. Let me try one more time moving. You move again, and once again they sit right in front of you. You bristly, annoyed, a little humiliated. Are they just getting a kick out of this or something? You wasted enough time with this jerk that you don't even know what's going on in the movie anymore. Confront. You hate confrontations. You already feel your palms starting to sweat at the idea of it. Your throat closing up, your body starting to shake. You've always been more of a fighter than a fighter. But you paid for this ticket. You wanted to watch this movie for ages, and now this total stranger has ruined the entire experience for you. You're all alone in this theater. There's no one who will help you if something goes wrong. But you're angry enough that you ignore the signs of your body, begging you to put as much distance as you can between yourself and the stranger. You stand up, even standing at a higher up of the incline. The stranger still at least a head taller than you. The movie continues to play in the background, but you feel as if a hush immediately falls heavily over the theater at your movement, as if you can sense the stranger anticipating what you plan to do next. You square your shoulders and force a little bass in your voice. Hey! The effort makes your words come out more harshly than you intended, like a sudden and vicious bark, but you figure they deserve it anyways. You're being a real jerk, you know that? Just what are you playing on? Are you trying to piss me off? The silence that follows your words is deafening, so much that you glance at the screen to find the movie has paused. Your attention is dripped back to the stranger in front of you as they shift slightly, like a small animal trying desperately to anticipate the moves of a predator. You don't move an inch. You don't look away. You don't dare to blink. Instead, your eyes widen as the person's head turns, then turn some more, then turn more, beyond what should be possible, neck bones cracking, to face you directly. You can't move. Wide, glowing eyes resting above a wider, grinning mouth gaze down at you. The stranger opens their mouth, and what comes out is something impossible to comprehend. The voice is endlessly deep and creaks like a weighty door, foreboding and oddly melodic. Alluring, but it also snaps you out of your terrifying trance, and before you know it, you're afraid out the door. You run through the halls of the empty theater, heading for the exit. You feel something watching you from behind, but you're afraid to look. The exit now in sight, you sprint forward and burst through the doors. You look around frantically and spot the crowded cinema across the street. People, that's what you need, safety and numbers and all that. Without thinking, you rush into the street with a stinging sensation crawling down your spine, compelling you to look behind you. Don't look behind you. Screw it. Despite your resistance, you feel your head turning to the back of your own accord, while in the middle of the street. You catch a glimpse of a grotesque-looking person standing behind the glass door of the old theater, watching you intensely, cradling something in their arms, something familiar. But that scared the shit out of me. A glimpse is all you get, as the truck speeds forward and crashes into your body. Damn. You're killed on impact, your body splattered across the road and crushed further under the heavy tires. Ending 16. Okay, that's gonna be it for me. I'm not gonna do every single ending. This video is gonna be 3 hours long at that point. If you guys want to play the game yourself, um, feel free to do all the endings. Or honestly, if you guys want me to do all the endings, just let me know and I'll do them all. But thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and BBG out.